Hello there, Asa here. Unfortunately, the whole community had to be united in this way, but alright, I'll just say it, whatever. I believe most of the community or just player base in general from the global side disagrees that the Wellbia should be implemented at all into the game. Xigncode3 or Wellbia or whatever that you call it is just a very bad track record anti-cheat software, and that's really it. Now, I can stay here and just talk about the nuances of how it actually functions or how it actually still lingers in your system even after you stop playing PSO2 NGS or any other game that actually implements this system. And you also do remember that, Blue Protocol was also using the same um, anti-cheat software that actually resulted in the ban of a lot of global players just because they wanted to try out playing in Blue Protocol in JP. Now, I understand that they wanted to protect their players in there, but it still angers a lot of people who got caught in the crossfire of permanent bans that is actually happening because of this specific Xigncode3 anti-cheat software. Now, do I really think New Genesis requires such a intrusive kernel level kind of anti-cheat? No, definitely no. I know there is a lot of rampant hacking issues that has caused a lot of turmoil, especially for like the creative space players and people who actually seen like a lot of spotting still going on, especially in the global side of things. Yeah, they're still annoying, but they are not exactly as huge effort annoyance like in the past. I don't really think they are that intrusive in terms of like gameplay experience and everything. It's more like there's not really much of those kind of things going on ever since. You know, the devs are definitely still banning every fake bot accounts consistently every single patches. So I don't really think there's an issue as well. So I don't really think this is like a huge issue for like most players, especially who are playing this game. And not to mention, this is a PvE game. Why are you trying to, put such an aggressive anti-cheat here when this is just a PvE game? There's no PvP elements. There's no like elements that requires us to have a very precise inputs when we are actually playing against other players. The only competitive element that I can actually think of is basically like rankings, time rankings, but those are also like quite individually solo kind of a thing, or with a team of players, but that's it. The only differences that you can actually get from getting number one is just better rewards, but really it's not really that much more pronounced or important in comparison to like a lot of live services that have like PvP or have a lot of like competition between guilds and stuff like that. Because implementing Xigncode3 is going to also impact the performance of the very hard to run New Genesis game now. Like, I'm legit struggling to run this game on like higher frame rates, especially in towns, because of how, crazy amounts of details that you had to load up when you're just in a city, especially in the crowded block. Like, I cannot even reach 60 frames in a crowded block with my current setup on my computer. And it's not even like the worst one, it's probably like the minimum requirement kind of PC even. Like, I can't even do that. And you're now expecting people to be running this game better with like another performance detriment, especially after this. Like come on, guys. I can't really get proper performances unless I use FSR and even had to reduce my resolution just to at least get like above 60. And that is really inconvenient, especially like if they are implementing this anti-cheat software and the game is actually going to become even slower. That is going to be a huge issue, especially for people who wanted to play this game as well on like Linux systems, hardware based systems like, for example, like Steam Decks and Asus ROG Allies. I don't really think adding this Xigncode3 is going to help those players as well, because it's definitely going to flag them as hackers or something just because of this dang intrusive thing. Not to mention about Japanese players who go overseas because of business trips who wanted to play PSO2 JP, and they can't use a VPN anymore because if they use a VPN while playing with the game with Wellbia, it's going to ban them. And they are going to label them as like you are not in Japan, therefore you are not a Japanese JP player, so you're going to get banned, just like what is happening in Blue Protocol. Are you sure you wanted to do that? Because I believe there is so many Japanese players that I don't really think you want to let them be caught in this crossfire. So on behalf of everybody, just don't implement this at all. Like, I understand that they provide us with the choice of like still keeping the game compatible with the older hardwares, with like the whole game guard thing, but I would rather them to choose another anti-cheat software instead of using Xigncode3 or Wellbia, because this is really going to give this game an even worse reputation if you can proceed with this movement, and unfortunately it's going to affect everybody, especially on the global side of players. So please reconsider this. On behalf of all content creators, I just wish that we all don't really have this problem to start with on the beginning at all. So I just don't really like the whole vibe this is giving out at the moment. People are actually genuinely, I believe there are genuinely people who loves this game, and I don't really want to see their hopes being dashed just because SEGA just wanted to implement this anti-cheat software. And I just wish they have a better decision than this. So let's just hope for the best. In the worst case scenario, they still proceed with this, well, just make sure to not like automatically let it update when the time comes with the patch that has included this Xigncode3 software in it. So make sure to just go do the same, go to the website and follow the instruction on how to enable it so that you can just keep on continuing using the Game Guard anti-cheat software instead of using Wellbia as a protest, because that is the only way that they will understand why we don't really want this. And that is all I wanted to talk about, and sayonara.